Welcome back. Let's read this one. I forgot I had a Danish video. I need to put the public. So I need 10 seconds. Oops. No, we have to read this one because it had built, I saw it built in 1300. I think that's one from the Second World War, like the Catalina. That's a famous flying boat. Yes, I need a minute to do myself ready. I need to write it on my paper. I have a note paper in my bed. Martin PBM och Gotne Marina. Yes, I have another. Yes, I have to update my note papers. But I need a new piece of paper, I think. No, got one there. Yes. Because if I not make, no, I should do it before I forgot it. I should do all this before I record video. I forgot it because I'm still sleepy. Yes, but I should, sorry for this, I should have done this before the video, I forgot. So let's read it.
Martin PBM Mariner. PBM Mariner, a U.S. Navy PBM-5 Mariner Old Patrol Bomber Flying Boat, National Origin United States Manufacturer Glenn L. Martin Company. First flight 18 February 1939. Introduction September 1940. Retired 1964. Uruguay. Primary users United States Navy, United States Coast Guard, Royal Australian Air Force, Argentine Navy. Produced 1940-1949. 1. Number built 1,366. Developed into Martin P5M Mullen. The Martin PBM Mariner was a twin-engine American patrol bomber flying boat of World War I, the early Cold War era. It was designed to complement the consolidated PBY Catalina and PB2Y Corona do in service. A total of 1,366 PBMs were built, with the first example flying on the 18th of February, 1939 and type entering service in September, 1940, with the last of the type being retired in 1964. Design and development. In 1937 the Glenn L. Martin Company designed a new twin-engined flying boat, the Model 162, to succeed its earlier Martin P3M and complement the PBY Catalina and PB2Y Corona do. It received an order for a single prototype XPBM-1 on the 30th of June 1937. 2. This was followed by an initial production order for 21 PBM-1 aircraft on the 28th of December 1937. 3. To test the PBM's layout, Martin built a 3/8 scale flying model, the Martin 162, a tadpole clipper with a crew of 1 and powered by a single 120 HP, 89 kilowatts, Chevrolet engine driving 2 air screws via V-belts. Guys was flown in December 1937. 4. 5. The first genuine PBM, the XPBM-1, flew on the 18th of February 1939. 2. The aircraft had multiple gun Positions including single mounts at each midship beam and stern above the tail cone. Additional guns were positioned in the nose and assault turrets, each fitted with 2 gun turrets. The bomb bays were in the engine nacelles. The gull wing was of cantilever design, and featured clean aerodynamics with an unbraced twin tail. The PBM-1 was equipped with retractable wing landing floats that were hinged outboard, with single strut-supported floats that retracted inwards to rest beneath the wing, with the float's keels just outboard of each of the engine nacelles. The PBM-3 had fixed floats, and the fuselage was 3 feet longer than that of the PBM-1. Operational history. The first PBM-1S entered service with Patrol Squadron 55, VP-55, of the United States Navy on 1 September 1940. Prior to the USA's entry into World War II, PBMs were used, together with PBYs, to carry out neutrality patrols in the Atlantic, including operations from Iceland. Following Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor, PBMs were used on anti-submarine patrols, sinking their first German U-boat, U-158, on 30 June 1942. 6. PBMs were responsible, wholly or in part, for sinking a total of 10 U-boats during World War II. 6. PBMs were also heavily used in the Pacific War, operating from bases at Saipan, Okinawa, Iwo Jima, and the Southwest Pacific. 7. A U.S. Navy PBM-1 of Patrol Squadron 56, VP-56, in 1940. A U.S. Navy PBM of Fleet Air Wing 6 is hoisted aboard the seaplane tender USS Curtis, AV-4, after a mine hunting patrol off North Korea during the Korean War, 1950–1953. The United States Coast Guard acquired 27 Martin PBM-3 aircraft during the first half of 1943. In late 1944, the service acquired 41 PBM-5 models and more were delivered in the latter half of 1945. 10 were still in service in 1955, although all were gone from fictive Coast Guard inventory by 1958. When the last example was released from PGA San Diego and returned to the U.S. Navy. These flying boats became the backbone of the long-range aerial search and rescue efforts of the Coast Guard in the early post-war years until supplanted by the P-5M Mullen and the HU-16 Albatross in the mid-1950s. 8. PBMs continued in service with the U.S. Navy following the end of World War II, flying long patrol missions during the Korean War. 9. It continued in frontline use until replaced by its successor the P-5M Mullen. The last Navy squadron equipped with the PBM Patrol Squadron 50, VP-50, retired them in July 1956. 10. The British Royal Air Force acquired 32 Mariners, but they were not used operationally, with some returned to the United States Navy. 11. A further 12 PBM-3RS were transferred to the Royal Australian Air Force for transporting troops and cargo. 12. 13. The Royal Netherlands Navy acquired 17 PBM-5 Mariners at the end of 1955 for service in Netherlands New Guinea. 14. The PBM-5 was an amphibian with retractable landing gear. The engines were 2,100 HP, 1,600 kilowatts. Pratt & Whitney are 2,800-34. After a series of crashes, the Dutch withdrew their remaining aircraft from use in December 1959. 15. Variants. The XPBM-1 showing the original retractable floats. XPBM-1, Model 162. Prototype. Powered by two 1,600 HP, 1,194 kilowatts, are 2,600-6 engines. 4. PBM-1, Model 162, initial production version. 5.50-inch, 12.7mm, machine guns. 2 are 2600-6 engines, 21 build. 4. XPBM2, Model 162. Conversion of 1 PBM1 as experimental catapult-launched long-range strategic bomber. 16. PBM3, Model 162B, improved version. 1,700 HP, 1,270 kilowatts, are 2,600-12 engines, 32 build. 16. PBM3R, Model 162B, unarmed transport version of PBM3. 18 new build plus 31 converted from PBM3. 16. PBM3C, Model 162C, improved patrol version with twin.50-in machine guns in nose and dorsal turrets, and single guns in tail turret and waist positions. And /APS-15 radar in radom behind cockpit, 274 build. 17. PBM3B, Model 162C, designation for XIF Mariner GR.1 after return to U.S. Navy. 17. PBM3S, Model 162C, dedicated anti-submarine aircraft with reduced armament, 2 fixed 0.50 in machine guns in nose, single machine gun in port waist position, and single gun in tail turret, and increased range, 94 built as new plus 62 conversions. 18. 19. PBM3D, Model 162D, patrol bomber with increased power, to 1,900 HP, 1,417 kilowatts, are 2,600-22s, and increased armament, twin 0.50 in machine guns in nose, dorsal, and tail turrets, plus 2 waist guns. 259 build. 18. PBM4, Model 162E, proposed version. With 2,700 HP, 2,015 kilowatts, right are 3,350 engines, unbuilt. 20. PBM5, Model 162F, version with 2,100 HP, 1,566 kilowatts. Pratt & Whitney are 2,800 engines winking sat Smiley 21, 628 build. 20. PBM5E variant of PBM5 with improved radar. 21. PBM5S light and anti-submarine variant of PBM5. 20. PBM5S2 improved anti-submarine aircraft with revised radar installation. 20. PBM50, Model 162G, amphibian version of PBM5, with retractable tricycle undercarriage, 36 build plus 4 conversions. 20. Mariner I British designation for 32. PBM3B supplied to the Royal Air Force. Operators. A 41 SQN RAF Mariner in 1944, a 524 SQN IF Mariner I at Aban, Scotland, UK, in October 1943. Argentine Navy purchased 9 PBMs during the 1950s for the Argentine Naval Aviation, retiring its last Mariner in May 1962. 22. Australia Royal Australian Air Force No. 40 Squadron RAF. Number 41 Squadron RAF. Netherlands Naval Aviation Service VSQ 321 based at Biak Air Base, Dutch New Guinea operated 15 PBM-5s between 1955 and 1960 after the retirement of their PBYs. United Kingdom Royal Air Force ordered 33 aircraft but only 28 were delivered. 23. A U.S. Coast Guard PBM takes off from the water assisted by Rato. 524 Squadron operated 28 Mariner is from October-December 1943. 24, under command of Number 15 Group Coastal Command. United States Navy ATU-1, ATU-10, ATU-501, VPB-2, VR-8, VR-10, VR-21, VPB-16, VPB-17, VPB-20, VP-21, VPB-27, 25, VPB-34, VP-40, VP-46, VP-56, VPB-98, VPB-99, VPB-202, VPB-203, VP-204, VP-205, VPB-206, VPB-207, VP-208, VPB-209, VPB-210, VPB-211, VPB-212, VPB-213, VPB-214, VPB-215, VPB-216, VP-731, VP-892, VH-1, VH-2, VH-3, VH-4, VH-5, VH-6, United States Coast Guard, 26. Uruguay National Navy of Uruguay purchased 3 PBM-5S2S in 1956, with the last retired on 3 February 1964. 27. Surviving aircraft. Martin PBM-5, a Mariner on display at the Pima Air and Space Museum near Tucson, Arizona. United States Navy PBM-5, Bureau number, BUNO, 122071, is the only surviving Mariner. It is on loan from the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C., and is currently on display at the Pima Air and Space Museum adjacent to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. 28, operated by the USN between 1948 and 1956. It is painted in the markings of Transport Squadron 21, VR-21, and coded RZ-051 of the early 1950s. 28. PBM-5 Buno 59172 lies upside down under Lake Washington. It crashed on the 6th of May, 1949, and after a number of unsuccessful attempts to recover the wreck over the following decades, it is now used as a training site for divers. 29, 30. The Model 1620, registered NX19168, the piloted 3/8 scale test aircraft, is on display at the Baltimore Museum of Industry. 31. Accidents and incidents. On the 16th of June, 1944, a U.S. Navy PBM-5 exploded and crashed in San Francisco Bay, California, killing the pilot, Lieutenant William Hess, and 8 other Navy crewmen. On the 30th of November, 1944, a U.S. Navy PBM-5 crashed into Mount Tamalpais in Northern California, killing 8 naval aviators and naval air crewmen. The aircraft had taken off from Naval Air Station Alameda and was part of a larger flight headed for Hawaii when it developed engine trouble shortly after takeoff. On the 5th of December, 1945, United States Navy PBM-5, Buno 59225, based at Naval Air Station Banana River, Florida, was believed to have been destroyed in a mid-air explosion off the coast of Florida near the Bahamas, while searching for the missing TBM Avengers of Flight 19 from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale, Florida. On the 30th of December, 1946, a U.S. Navy PBM-5 crashed on Thurston Island, Antarctica, while supporting Operation High Jump, On the 10th of September, 1958, Mariner P303 was being ferried to the Netherlands from Biak, Indonesia. Due to technical